Hey folks, it's Laura with Rain Tree Nursery. And today I wanted to show you something that we get multiple questions a week about when we are actively shipping our plants. Regularly, we will get calls and questions from customers who receive plants and the top has been cut off. It has been pruned off. And they're very worried. They say, "What the heck? I got my tree. It has no top. How's it going to turn into a tree?" And I am here to allay your fears. We do cut the tops on trees for a number of different reasons. Sometimes it's simply to fit a really tall tree in our boxes, and sometimes a tree is damaged and needs to be pruned down low. That's what happened with this little orange quince tree. It was damaged and had to be pruned very low. In fact, it was so low that we took it out of circulation and we were not going to send it out to a customer. It was in our seconds bin. Now, it happened to be a variety of quince that I've always wanted to grow, so I took it home to give it some love. It had a nice thick caliper, so it was a sturdy little tree, but it had obviously been chopped right off. But I knew that wasn't going to be a problem. So I took it home last spring. I planted it in the ground and look what it's done just in the course of 1 year. All of these new branches came out from right below the cut. And it's doing what fruit trees always do, which is recreate a new central leader. Plants really want to have a central leader. It's important to their hormonal development response. And so here you go. You can see it's just slightly offset from center. So what I've done is I've put in a little bamboo stake, and the bamboo stake is pointing off this direction a little bit. My tree, its new central leader, is pointing this direction a little bit. So I'm going to help everybody meet in the center by applying a little bit of tension. I'm going to take my string and just tie this branch so that it really is right in the center of the tree. And there you go. It's just that simple. I'm going to add one more little support, a little bit lower, so the tension is not all in one spot on the bark. And in a couple of years, you won't even know this tree didn't have a central leader when it was planted. And there we go. Now here's another great example of a tree that exactly knows what to do. This also happens to be a quince, but it doesn't matter. All fruit trees will do this. This has a much thinner caliper of trunk, but as you can see, all of this growth is from last year. The top had been cut off, and look at this perfect new central leader. The tree is doing it all by itself. This one is so beautiful and perfectly placed, I don't even have to support it. Trees are so smart sometimes. Now this is an example of another style of tree that we send out at Rain Tree. This is what's called a feathered whip. It's a young tree that has very little branching. No branching at all is a whip. Little juvenile branching, that's feathering. So this is a feathered whip. Now this tree has experienced a fair amount of dieback. It's completely dead up here, and I know that because I did the scratch test and I didn't see any green cambium. And down here, this tissue is still alive, but I can see there's some discoloration spots. So what I'm going to do in order to restore vibrant, good health to this tree is I'm going to cut it back even further. Now I know I can do that. I can cut the central leader because I know the tree will promote a new one. And it for sure is going to happen right here. That one's going to become the new central leader. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this tree into live wood down where I have an outward facing branch. I'm going to cut the tree at an angle so there's no flat surface for water to pool on. And once this happens, the tree will spring into life. It will start popping all of these beautiful buds. It will be much happier, much healthier, a little shorter, but ready to reestablish that central leader and really explode with growth. And there we have it. 3 good examples of trees that are going to reestablish their central leaders easily and quickly, and also how you can feel confident that if you need to trim back the central leader, it's not going to hurt your tree one little bit. In fact, it will spur it into rugged, good growth. Thanks for joining us. It's Laura with Rain Tree Nursery. We'll see you next time.